Hey, this is Debbie Villafane again from Chicago. I'm a targeted person, an individual, a Havana syndrome victim, current life, and 3 generations that I know about, 4 generations. Look at this. The antenna's plugged in, everything. This TV's like 2 weeks old. Look at this. I scanned channels. Not one was found. Not a channel 32. I'm from Chicago. Not a channel 9. Not a 7. Not a 5. Not a 2. Nothing. Not a channel 50. Not a channel 66.1. Nothing was found. The minute I did an update for this television, it scanned all my regular primetime channels. So now I don't have that. So I reset the television and I scanned for channels, and look, no channels were found. This is a day in the life of being targeted by the derelicts that sit at the Pentagon, which consists of the military-industrial complex. Get it? Industries. Industrial. Anything that's an industry, these people are in charge of. They spend their waking days and hours and minutes and seconds just thwarting fucking processes. Like they get something out of this, doing it 1,000,000,000 times, and 1,000,000,000 times with 1,000,000,000 different people in this world, and just doing it on purpose. They are blocking everything from my radio, television, videos, YouTube, fucking Vimeo. They are blocking fucking everything. My Twitter, my Messenger, my Facebook. They have been blocking my Twitter, Messenger, and Facebook, coincidentally, since last year when I went to the fucking World Day Against Electronic Torture at DC, which they conveniently changed the date for what I was advertising for fucking a week, or, I'm sorry, for a couple of years on my car. They conveniently changed the date, and nobody showed up that day. But the targeted fucking people, the 3 fucking assholes that sit at the Pentagon doing this shit to me, they sat there and burned blisters on my fucking feet, in the front, by my toes, so I couldn't wear flip-flops. I couldn't wear closed shoes. I couldn't wear shit on my feet even, because I couldn't walk once I got there. So that's what they do. Plus, they make you not breathe and sweat like you're in a fire. Your whole body's in a fire. You could be standing in front of an air conditioner in an igloo, just walking with an air conditioner inside of an igloo, and they could still make you feel like you're 1,000,000,000,000 fucking degrees on fire. And guess what? They do this fucking consecutively. I don't have a day off. I don't have one day off. I don't have one day at a job. I don't have anything. Just them torturing me. And coincidentally, it has been 15 years since I've seen my younger son. I want my children back. They murdered my father and whispered it into my ears as they did it. They make me listen to them as they murder people around me. 24/7. I don't have a second off. I don't have any food inside my intestines or my stomach or my bowels. I don't have nothing in there, because they empty it 20 times a day. And I don't mean just empty it. They nuke it, microwave it until it's in liquid form, and then let it come out every fucking day, 24/7. That is their job, to do this. They don't have no fucking... And for those of you who spit when you're talking, let me tell you why you spit when you talk. Because they sit there and they withhold your fucking shit from you. They withhold your oxygen. Look at this. Live TV, channel scan. Let's do it again. Again, this is plugged in the coaxial cable in back of the television. It should get something, don't you think, people? Let's do... Oh, please make sure your antenna is set up and plugged into your device. That's already done. Next. And it starts the scan. Remember, those of you in any state, you get 2, 5, 7, 9, your primetime channels that come in that are shady, that are black and blue. There's some work. Here's 37 channels found, 0. Let me hold the antenna high up, as high as I can fucking do it. See? I'm holding this up. And it is finding nothing. Nothing whatsoever. Not even one channel. Not a Spanish channel, dude. You know all the Spanish television's been coming in since the 70s. And then look it, not even one channel comes in. 2, 5, 7, 9, nothing. Here's the antenna. Okay? That's an antenna by itself. Clear TV antenna. It's so clear, it doesn't get any channel. That's what we waste our money on from all the lies. See? No channels were found. That's my options and advanced. That's my options. They are blocking those channels from me. They're blocking all of them from me. This is what they've done all these years. They spend their waking hours as I sit here and watch all these people. I'm half Puerto Rican, but I'm going to tell you one thing. All I see in the neighborhood and all I see is people of employment is 90% Hispanic. The rest is black and white. That's it. In every establishment I visit, in every grocery store I visit, banks, eateries, foods, restaurants, anything I visit, that's all it is. I don't know what they're planning on doing by letting all the Hispanics work and everybody else, I don't know. You know, I don't know what their deal is. But I take fucking profiles on everything. Again, my dad is Puerto Rican. Yep. So there's no pun here with the Hispanics at all. No pun whatsoever. I'm just telling you what I see. I live in a Polish, Hispanic, white, Italian, we got a percentage of blacks lately around here. But that's it. In this whole neighborhood, consisting of miles long, from Western to frickin' Harlem to Cumberland even, actually. That's a wide range, from the lake to Cumberland on down. Off of Irving Park. That's what I deal with on a daily basis. Now I got to get back in my television and try to figure out why they're taking what's going on the news right now. Because they've hidden. You know what, people? I go to a TI thing since 2017, the Unity and Hope Conference in Boston. Okay? I went to my very first in 2017 conference. I'm telling you, ever since that conference, they were keeping me away from all the other TIs, keeping me from talking to them, keeping me from, like Next Level. He came into Chicago in 2018, Next Level, at the Daily Center in Chicago. He came there, and they purposely, and this time I caught them what they were doing, playing musical people with people. You know, like you move in that chair and have me move in the opposite direction at the same exact time so that we cross paths but don't actually see or meet each other or greet each other or anything like that. Then, in the 2018 and other conferences that we were attending throughout that year, like TI Day, August 29th, what did they have me do? They had me sit down. I think Dr. Matthew Aaron and Ella and a lot of other good people were there. A lot of other people, I should say, were there. Not to mention the locals that were there. They wouldn't allow me to sit there and go for their march around the block. They had me sit there in pain, blowing up my feet, blowing up the pains in my stomach. I couldn't breathe, making me sweat profusely, just torturing me, targeting me while I'm there, while I'm asking all the other TIs, are you guys okay? Are they targeting you here? And this and this and that. No, we're fine right now. Da 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 da. They haven't been targeting them, but not me. Through all the times that I was there. And guess what, people? Guess another thing. Video games. Robots, other things like that. They sat there and they made fucking a program of me. Programs, I should say. Multiple programs of these TIs. Okay? I don't know about the rest of you, but I see myself in so many things, from cartoon characters to ads for video games on Google, on whatever channels, but for video games. I see other people with talking like me, walking like me, even my eye set, my facial features are exactly like me. So I don't know about you, but I would start demanding fucking money, because these people are getting, not only are they torturing us, taking our looks from us and the way we act and the way we behave, but then they're going to sit there and fucking leave us there looking like this, feeling like this, long after they've taken everything from us. What could be the reason they take my son from me, for Christ's sakes? My son! He's 30 years old now. Haven't seen him since he was 15. 15! They were thwarting me for me to see him and making my son run away from me. Just run away. He would hear screaming in his head, run now. He ran out the front door just because he heard that. And I heard it too, because it was so loud. Man, the things that they have done and that they continue to do. And now they're getting all pumped up and excited because they're going to have a few days, if not a week or two, at its finest, in between all this weather change and everything. Because, again, they don't have no technology except this voice to skull and this targeting and torturing of this program surrounding each and every one of us, Hispanics included. You got to clean your ears more often, people. You got to get that gob of wax that sits on top of your eardrum. You know, you're supposed to have that cleaned out. When we were children, they used to clean our ears. But now they just let people's ears go so we could all be under the same frequency of hearing them. When I was 15 or 14, they had me pick that out of my ear. It was a big, hard ball of wax on top of my eardrum, deep in my ear canal. I had a long pinky fingernail that used to fucking get in there whenever these assholes would itch my ear. All your itches, your aches, your pains are done through a program. The human body does not only heal itself, okay? It has its own healing capabilities. But it does not, your own body, your own brain doesn't make you itch, cough, sneeze, fart. From each breath of air you're breathing in is a gas bubble that they put in front of your face. And they've been doing this my whole life. Gives you that gas down there. And a lot of people I've seen take matches and lighters when they're getting ready to fart. And sit there like as if you have an aerosol can. And sit there and turn it into a flame. How is that possible, people? Ask yourself. Everything you know is a lie. Organized religion was a lie to get all the kinfolk and all the folk into towns to believe in one thing. To follow along the leader in one line, straight and narrow. That's what it is. That's what school has been. Since you've been teaching you all lies except for your counting and your reading, I don't know where schooling is necessary. People are sitting in their jobs, twiddling their fingers, and have been for the last 30 years, really. 20 to 30, depending on what job you're in or what industry you're in. Twiddling their fingers, sitting at their desk jobs. Those college people that spent all their money in college learning a fucking thing. Well, they live nice. They have nice homes and nice cars and nice vacations and nice families that they've all turned into drug addicts or fucking retards, excuse my language, homosexual in some sort of manner, or some tranny or some looped thing that they've done to your kids. And these are all things. People, how do we get retarded children? Down syndrome, autism, all those spectrums of fucking diseases and shit like that. How do we get them? From them. There isn't one thing wrong with your body that would create something like that. Not one thing. Do you understand? That would be 1 in a billion chance, a trillion, gazillion. And trust me, people, there's a lot more than you know that they put people under these frequencies, under these programs. Autism is a program. There's nothing wrong with that child's brain, an autistic child. You know what's wrong with it? It's them having a program since birth. Since birth. There's nothing physically wrong with that. There's nothing physically wrong with their facial features, with their body, with their movements, with their functionality in their body, in their mind, in their body, I should say, because all things stem from the mind. There's nothing wrong with them. That is a controlled program, just like homosexuality, just like being a tranny, just like being anything like that. There is a program concurrently run on top of your mind to make you think, feel, and think, and pressure you to be a certain way. And what is this for? The enemy? When they have the voice to God or voice to skull technology, what is their enemy? When they could just, anybody, even me, who knows what's going on, who catches them all the time, you know what I mean? If they didn't know they couldn't even fucking register as to what I'm going to do next if they didn't know my routine already, what that job gives you people. Just like those ladies that came home and her safe was broken into. Sorry, I had to drink something. These people take my oxygen away from me. They had her safe broken into. There's one of two things that happened. She distinctively remembers locking that safe. Nobody else is in the house around her. Nobody else has the code to her safe. Either they blacked her out and she didn't know what was going on, which they do to people all the time. And then they do a Cosby or they do the El Chapo and they get people started into a way of life. Whether it be you're a pedophile, whether it be you're a father of the stupid ass cloth, if so to speak. And I don't care if you church people get offended at this point, because it is so stupid for you to believe in something that you don't see with your physical daylight eyes, where you can physically see someone in front of you. And if you still want to bow down to fucking things and just continuously go to church with no interruptions, what are you going for? What are you believing in all this repetitive hearsay that they always say? God is not here. God wouldn't let this torture happen. Not the God that I was taught. I was baptized Catholic. You know what I'm saying? But that was a long time ago. I'm 51 years old. I was baptized when I was a child. I didn't have no say in it. Just like the Fullerton former says. Or Joe Umbriano. I love it when he says that. And a second later, he says what they brainwashed him to say. And they say it right through him and he lets it out of his lips. He has a favorite saying, and I can't think of it now because they just took it from me. But it's something to do with praising God. You know, to you non-believers and stuff like that. They have Joe Umbriano sitting there like with a bobber, you know, with fish, dangling it in front of this fish or that carnivore, if you know what I'm saying, because I'm not explaining this correctly. But they sit there having him bobble everything that's smart comes out of his mouth 24/7. Everything. And I like his tone and I like his pitch. That's him. And I'm telling you something. But the minute he says God, and this is for Joe and Brianna to hear too, the minute you say all that God stuff, and I know they got you through the rough times, but the same people who got you through the rough times with the belief, they wanted you to stop for another reason. Taking drugs. Okay? They did that with me with alcohol for a bit too. I didn't have a license to drive for 14 and a half years. They stopped me from driving. And they stopped it, literally. But they started you back up again. And God didn't get you through it. You know who got you through it? You did. You wanting to stop. And they saw that. Or else they would have had you stuck up in the drug hole for as long as they could. Because they give a fuck about human life. The 3 at the Pentagon. We need oversight for people who's in charge. It's not the morons we see on TV that they puppet on through. Although a few of them are shady. It's other people that are sleeping there. They literally don't leave from there. They sit there with like nothing going on in the background. Nothing but their own selves sitting in their dimly lit, because they have computers all over the place, facility. Where they go from their bed, where it has a little washroom inside of it, and their little dresser drawers, and their rooms, and they go straight to the computers, or straight to the cafeteria, sit in the same booth all the time, don't talk to anybody while they're there, and then they come back on the computers after they leave us on auto program, and then they start manhandling it. Oh, this one needs to go to the washroom again. They've gotten so bad, they don't even care. I didn't eat anything all day and all week, and they will still take all the food out of me and pump gas inside of me. Just gas after gas after gas. So my stomach is like its own entity. When I went in my brother's hot tub, they went on vacation and I was dog sitting. And I went in the hot tub. I finally went in the hot tub. And the minute I got in, my stomach, the stomach that they blow up full of hot air, guided me as to how I was going to sit in that hot tub. And they wanted it where my stomach was bobbing all the way up to the top of the water. And who cares about the weight of my skull and my head? But my stomach on that water just floated. I had to hold myself down on the side of the hot tub to keep myself in a chair-like position because my stomach guided me from all the air and all the torture that they're doing to me. These people are sick in their freaking heads. There is no fucking... They're making this world like a circus. They stopped Ringling Brothers because they couldn't resist on scaring the little kids and making the animals act up. Just as sure as they can tame a tiger and a lion and a bear, you know what I mean? With this voice to skull and this stuff that they mapped their human brain, the mice brain, the gopher brain, the tiger brain, the elephant brain, the giraffe brain, the bear, the wildebeest brain, you name it. The hyena brain. The hyena is like associated to them for some reason because that's how they act. But they mapped all of their brains too. Fuck even the ants' brains. Oh, ants don't have brains. One of them just chimed in right now. Right now, as I said that, chimed in and said ants don't have brains. What do they have? See, I put them on the spot and then they were acting up. Maybe one of these days through these recordings, there's going to be some kind of supersonic level where we could hear them on these videos that we create when they're talking on the other side of us. Because we need to know who has the capabilities to do all this torture to us, no matter where we are or where we go. Who? Who owns all those satellites, those stars that you think are stars up in the sky? There are satellites turned on for something or another, for total population control. You understand? Those are satellites up there. Who has these technologies to sit here? No fucking hacker in the world. Because a hacker means that you just have access to all people's fucking shit without no doors. That's a hacker. And that's the only people that could be a hacker, a true hacker, are the ones that have the keys to the back doors, which the government, okay, the military-industrial complex, DARPA, over there, Lockheed Martin, all those intertwined under every name but the Pentagon. The people inside the Pentagon, I've coined the term Pentagonians. Since they like all this bullshit since Star Trek stuff came out and pre-Star Trek, you know, I've coined the term Pentagonians. When you're dealing with the 3 live monkeys above your head on top of their fucking machine, when they go to lunch, breakfast, dinner, and when they sleep for their 6 hours or 8-hour intervals, because yes, they do sleep. Yes, they do sleep, and they do eat 3 square meals a day. And quite hefty portions, might I add. So don't let them fool you by starving you. And they have super grow technologies that can sit there and super grow things in a second. Your berry trees, your cherry trees, your watermelon trees. I mean, super grow. I've got a blackberry tree in back of my house right here. It's not my house. It's my boyfriend's house. I'm waiting to move from here. But anyway, there's a blackberry tree in the backyard. And all I know is over one day's rain, because they put the silver nitrates or whatever the hell they drop from the plane and diffuse into our air. Whatever they do in this rain that they give has super grow technologies. It makes your fruits and your vegetables grow like in a second. Your hair in a second. Your skin cells in a second. Blowing them up and taking them off too. All these scars, you watch Nip Tuck, they can take it off with their laser technology too. They can regrow teeth, not just your childhood teeth, but your adult teeth. They can do all this shit. And they choose to sit here and torture us concurrently through their lives and through our lives. Joe, I love your videos. Just want to let you know, like Frank, I just want to hoping one day you guys hear it. Because if I try to pick up the phone and call you guys, Lord knows I get blocked on all the calls and all did I mention not only my TV, the YouTube, all my apps and shit like that, my games, radio, videos, you name it, they block me. And they've been blocking me for the last decade. Okay? I don't know. They love me so much they just can't let go. I don't know what it is. And they're homosexuals by choice. There's no program running above them. Mikey liked it. Okay? Mikey just liked it. If you know what I'm saying. While he's sitting here controlling people like you do in a video game when you control your video character. They have those Oculus fucking things where they sit there and they become you. They dull your brain down and can sit there and control you like a puppet. That's how they do it. And we're all, I don't care if you fucking people are programmed to say, well, I don't know, it's not happening to me, or I don't hear them, or this and this and that. Well, that's a good thing. But that don't mean you're not being targeted. As your husband just died, you know what? We were meant to live a mighty long time. That's why when we're in our 20s, up into our 30s or so, we're still children mentally. Depending on where we are and what we've been taught, we're still children. I mean, we're supposed to be living hundreds of years. Not fucking 40 years, 50 years, or 7 years, or all these 10-year-olds that they just shot up a school. It's not one crazy dude, and it's not one racist dude. It is them controlling that person and setting him up for that crime. Not giving a shit about the crime, the person who committed it, or his life, or his family, or lack thereof, and especially of all the people they've taken their lives. All those children. They say this world is overpopulated. Oh, there's certain lands we could live on and certain lands we can't. And this in, high levels. That's why all this other shit is happening, because they built it on wrong grounds and shit like that. They need to go to the highest plateau of Earth. And they keep shooting off missiles and bombs and all this other shit and doing all this other kind of testing. You tell me, after so many hits, that's breaking the Earth. That alone is breaking the Earth. They're trying to fucking manipulate everything on this planet. And in doing so, they're killing the planet. By killing, I mean fucking killing it. Just imagine if you kept shooting a fucking human being point blank in their chest for 1 trillion times and expecting it still to stand. How could that be? Look at the Earth. Repetitive bombs. They shoot a bomb over here and let it off into the ocean. Well, on the floor of the ocean, it hits the bottom. It causes a fucking earthquake somewhere else. It causes some opening of the earth someplace else. Now we got a big pothole over here and over there and over there. That's what they're doing. These people got it in their heads so bad and so twisted. They are under a frequency, as are all of we, that we don't care, we don't do anything, we don't act right, we don't think the next thought. They got us all around that, thinking that they can control this universe. And they can't. Because they are the biggest murderers there ever will be in this fucking entire planet. Sits right there, deepest within our planet, is the fucking Pentagon. These people are absurd, disgusting, twisted. They're a bunch of pedophiles. They told me themselves. Let alone the shit they did with me and with a bunch of other people I heard at these conferences. And a couple of thing I caught wind of too. A couple of rallies or protests that I caught wind of. You know? These people block me from fucking everything, even getting on a call. Oh, well, people are going to listen to you and this and that, or we'll have to kill you, or there ain't a day goes by that they haven't threatened me. They have stabbed my son in various places of his body and told me they were going to do it. My son. They told me how they were going to kill my father or my boyfriend's mother or my children's grandmother or they tell me all the time they're thinking about killing my mother even after they took us away since we were kids. We were just kids. And me and my brother both left the home when we were young because they wanted us to. I mean, the stories go so deep and these videos are so alluring, but it's still not quite necessary. But I'm going to get to posting this video because I kept my mouth down. Excuse me for any swears, people, but if I swore, I'm angered. It took me a long way to get angered and to get this soaked in my system to where I'm not going to be listening to their bullshit no more. And a swear word is nothing more than that. It's a word. If you can't handle it, or a child can't handle it, may I suggest living in another planet. Because things are only going to get worse. They're not going to get better. And those of you who sit at your job